What is the first thing you see when opening the game? You might have thought the title screens, but no, it's actually the credits.
New Super Mario Brothers! Whee!
The title screen. It's universal with every game, especially with older games. You'd walk around the arcade and look at each game and you would see the title screen, which is usually a preview of what the game has in store. But throughout the years, title screens have become more and more creative, and also more and more boring. There's different ways games do title screens. However, the most boring way you can do it is having the box art alongside a press any button to continue text. Yeah, the development time could be put into literally anything else, but the title screen is an art form. Like for example, The Last of Us Part 1 has a beautiful title screen. The colors, the lighting, the composition, everything about this is perfect. It shows how beautiful life can be despite the bad situation. But it literally looks like the leaves broke into this house. But this title screen is a part of the minimalistic genre some title screens go for. For example, the forever iconic Final Fantasy VII title screen has the Buster Sword upright on the ground with a black background, but the sword is glistening like a light skin. And maybe Xenoblade took inspiration from this, but this screen has the Monado sword stabbed into the ground on a seamlessly endless plane. However, over time, as you stare at the screen, the sky changes into a beautiful sunset, and then next into night. While this is all happening, a beautiful piece is playing. There's something special about how games do their title screens. Like, look at this. First, we're in the title screen, and then boom, we're right into the game. It's practically seamless and shows how much technology has improved. But both of the most recent God of War games use this to its advantage. In the game back in 2018, Kratos is holding an axe to a tree, and as soon as you start the game, you start cutting down that tree and you're right into the story. In the original trilogy of the series also does this, and when you start, Kratos just starts yapping. However, if you don't press anything, Kratos is just mewing at the camera. Nintendo games has a certain charm when it comes to their title screens. Or used to have this charm. Let me explain. In the past, Mario games used to have Mario screaming the title of the game.
Super Mario 3D World!
But with the most recent release of Mario Wonder, you open up the game and you're welcome to... This is like if you were to order a sandwich but only getting bread. But I can't talk about title screens without mentioning Ocarina of Time. When you think of title screens, you probably think of this one. We just follow Link on a horse as the music guides us through the lands of Hyrule Fields. The Legend of Zelda series does this with a lot of their games, just showing the beautiful landscape through a video. But sadly, the most recent Zelda games have not been doing this. Now, these aren't bad, but these games are beautiful with beautiful landscapes, so just give me a taste of what is to come. Like Animal Crossing New Horizons. This one's very unique because it was simply pick a random villager and just following whatever they're doing. We can see them interact with other villagers or just go throughout their day. Something that can make or break how title screens work is what song plays. You see, the background's mediocre, but the music is good, so it makes the title screen good. Most of them just use the main theme of the game, or a cover of it, but for some of them, they get creative, syncs the song up with how the logo shows up. These aren't game-changing, however, this is very charming. There's also interactive title screens, which as it sounds, you can obviously interact with the title screens. In Mario 64, you can stretch around and mess with Mario's face, and you can put him into weird and wacky expressions. Despite being an older game than I am, no game has done anything close to this since. The title screen has a special touch as in Mario sleeps and gives previews of the game through dream sequences, making it just a bit more special. However, in another Mario game, Mario Maker 2, whenever you start the game, it will boot you into a random pre-made level or a level you've already created. Sometimes games have unique title screens based on where you are in the game. For example, when you boot up Omori, we see Omori in white space, but when you're in black space, the background turns into black space. And in the Hospital Good ending, we see Sunny for the first time on the title screen. However, in the bad ending, it'll be the same background but without Sunny. Spooky. And with The Last of Us Part 2, we start with seeing a boat in a very gray and dark ocean. And after the event of the main story, we can see the boat has reached the shore, which is where Abby and Lev wanted to go at the end of the game. We never see them making it to the destination, but the title screen answers the question if they made it or not. And Detroit Become Human has probably the most unique and amazing title screen, which is having the android from the game assisting you through the menu like if you were in the world of Detroit Become Human, commanding this robot through these menus, and sometimes she talks about recent events depending on where you are in the game. The title screen even trolls the player by saying your current save data was corrupted.
Oops, I think your saved game is corrupted. Just kidding.
And at the end of the game, whether you successfully led a rebellion or not, Chloe asks about having freedom to go ahead and leave, and you can make your last decision for her to stay or go. This doesn't change anything relating to the game at all. She just gets replaced by a new model, and you can go right back into playing a different ending. Title screens aren't nearly as important as the actual game, but let me put it like this. Restaurants and fast food places usually have photos of what the food is. This is like what title screens are. When you open up the menu and see a good looking title screen, you know you're in for a delicious game. Or if you're returning to the menu, you can be reminded of how good the game was. But yeah, that's all the title screens I want to talk about. I sure hope I'm not missing anything else that would get people like upset. Oh yeah, this one's good, I guess.